We're gonna try this video again because I got, 13 minutes into the recording and my camera died. It said battery exhausted. Basically, it said, fuck you, TV. What do you say fuck me for? I don't know, man. We talking about Alfie in this video. Alfie compares to Jokic. Alfie's the next great big in the league. Lock in, like, comment, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, welcome back to the channel. I know you love your boy TB. You missed this face. I'm back. Let's get into the video. Upon drafting Alperen Sengun, the Houston Rockets were apprehensive about his transition to NBA life. At 19, the Turkish teenager didn't speak any English, which already prompted concern with coming to the NBA, obviously an English-speaking league for the most part. Now, these worries, they went away very, very quick. His adaptation was immediate, and the Rockets GM Rafael Stone, he's also shared that his entire personality has adapted as well. Alfie's larger-than-life persona, gregarious, warm, and authentic, it soon manifested itself on the court. Stone witnessed this during Sengun's initial workouts in the Las Vegas Summer League, and despite the language barrier, Alfie not only grasped the team's playbook, but directed his teammates with gestures, orchestrating plays with flashy passes. Fast forward 2 years, amidst a revamped team under a new no-nonsense championship head coach, and within an organization committed to a fresh start, Alfie, the 16th draft pick, is making leaps beyond even the most optimistic expectations. He's become the linchpin of the NBA's surprise team this year, propelling the Rockets from a 29th net rating in the past seasons to 6th place this year. And in the thick of it all is Alperen Sengun. Now, Alfie shines as a revelation, posting all-star caliber statistics, averaging 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. His improvements in scoring, playmaking, and efficiency are remarkable, with significant impact on Houston's performance, outscoring opponents by 10.7 points per 100 possession when he's on the floor. This stark transformation comes after 2 challenging seasons for a team focused on rebuilding. Sengun had to learn to grapple with the learning curves while getting a glimpse of promise alongside other high upside yet high error prone prospects. Obviously, one of those high error prone prospects is kind of gone now, so now it's more so just one with Jalen Green, but you do still have other prospects on this team that are very young and are gonna need to develop with Alfie going forward. The Rockets emphasized change, conveying to Sengun that opportunities, they would be in the plentiful. The transition commenced when Coach Ime Udoka took over to instill a culture of accountability, translating potential into victory. The team's aggressive offseason moves, securing veterans like Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Jeff Green, Jacques Landale, Reggie Bullock, and Aaron Holiday bolstered Houston's roster to be what they are now. If you look back on this Rockets team, they were essentially a very, very high-level college team that they competed in like the first, sometimes second quarter of games, and then by the third, fourth quarter, they were out of games and no longer really competing, especially if they were playing a contending level type of team. It just wasn't working for them, especially under coach Stephen Silas. Now with this team and Alfie, his talent, initially a double-edged sword amidst team development, has found better synchronization. VanVleet's on-court leadership complements Sengun's game very well, establishing an instinctive pick-and-roll chemistry. Jeff Green offers off-court guidance, aiding Sengun's composure and growth beyond game situations, and it's even better because Jeff Green, he was able to see Jokic grow from a passenger seat, and he can directly help Sengun in that way by being his vet. Now, we talked about the Rockets on this channel in the offseason, and we did always say that the deals with Jeff Green and Fred VanVleet, they were a tad bit weird. They were a bit shaky. We didn't quite, I don't want to say we didn't understand, but it was a lot of money to be throwing at some older guys that were probably over the hill. But when we talked about those moves, we also mentioned the fact that Jeff Green and Fred VanVleet are gonna be integral to helping this team. I specifically remember saying that Fred VanVleet didn't sign a 4 or 5 year deal. He signed a 3-year deal. And at the end of that 3 years, those young guys should be ready to take over, take the helm, and be ready to really explode and go win a championship. I don't think Fred VanVleet and Jeff Green came there with the intentions to win a championship. They're both champions at this point. Fred VanVleet is getting his bag, and Jeff Green is helping the next guy, the next up-and-comer, and I think he got a bag too, if I'm not mistaken, and if he did, it was very deserved. To match the veteran presence of those two, you also have a veteran and a championship coach in Ime Udoka. Udoka's unapologetic coaching style resonates with Alfie, who values this intensity, and you can kind of tell it wakes him up, especially in games where he's kind of lollygagging on the defensive end. Alfie's impact, even early in the season, marks a pivotal moment for the Rockets. His youth, just 21, underscores his basketball IQ, reminiscent of seasoned players like Jokic at a similar age. His style, an amalgamation of diverse skills, mirrors modern NBA centers, empowering him to dominate the game through post play, rebounds, playmaking, and court vision that triggers team movement. The echoes of Jokic's praise after a game against the Nuggets, they ring loud, suggesting Houston should lean more on Alfie. Denver's championship win, built around a center like Jokic, it serves as a blueprint for this Rockets team, with Sengun embodying that potential. Now, comparing Sengun to Jokic, while flattering, acknowledges their shared traits: post prowess, court vision, and crafty passes, not to mention that basketball IQ that is at an all-time level. Though early in the season, Sengun's stats resonate akin to the seismic tremors preceding a significant breakout, drawing parallels to Jokic's third-year performance. As seen on the screen, Alfie very similarly mirrors Jokic at his third year, in his third year as well. The way I look at Alfie in terms of how he plays, and then the stat line to match Jokic in his third year, it's almost like Alfie is to Jokic as Kobe is to Jordan. Obviously, people always gave Kobe hell for being a carbon copy of Jordan, but I think that was more so a issue in the GOAT debate as opposed to an issue in general, because if Kobe wasn't in the GOAT debate, I don't think that would have been brought up so much. I think it would have been appreciated a lot more, the same way we see the appreciation for Alfie's game low-key mimicking Jokic's. Now, Jokic's brilliance, it lies not just in his remarkable talent, but in his consistent selflessness that fosters a culture of sharing among his teammates, even when it might not directly benefit them individually. He doesn't monopolize possessions unless the flow of the game necessitates it. Often, his passes set the stage for another pass, ultimately leading to a scoring opportunity, a methodical and seamless orchestration every single time. Alperen Sengun acknowledges Jokic's elite level and aims to reach that pinnacle himself. The Rockets aspire to emulate this approach, and the most potent offenses in the NBA operate with a multifaceted, inscrutable strategy devoid of predictability. Sengun embodies this versatility, capable of launching attacks from various core positions and benefiting the team collectively. And one thing about Sengun that I love that he does have an edge on Jokic is his athleticism. He can finish over the rim and play above the rim a little bit better than Jokic can. Now, recognizing the need to feed multiple talents, the Rockets coaching staff studied the tactics employed by Jamal Murray and Jokic. And even if they may not match their effectiveness, the Nuggets strategy remains as an inspiring model specifically to a team like this. Statistics reveal Sengun's frequent use of wedge screens. They even surpass Jokic in this aspect. And for Coach Udoka, it's not about Sengun's offensive prowess, but also about emphasizing his defense. He stresses the importance of Sengun learning from Jokic's defensive adaptability and basketball IQ. Now, the Rockets, I'm sure, plan to experiment with defensive schemes that suit Sengun's strength rather than exposing him and putting him in unfavorable matchups, but it's also up to Sengun to have that wherewithal to get better on the defensive end. We know Jokic isn't the best defender, but we also know his IQ is so high on the defensive end, it makes up for that lack of athleticism, lateral movement, and other areas that make you a good defender. He becomes an average to above average defender because he uses that IQ to his advantage on the defensive end. And Sengun, he can not only do this, but like I said before, he can play above the rim a little bit better than Jokic, so he can actually use a little bit more athleticism matched with that defensive IQ, which could see him being a better defender in the future. Aside from the Jokic comparison, Alfie possesses unique traits. His atypical body flexibility combined with agile footwork makes guarding him a daunting task. Despite his current proficiency inside the arc, Sengun needs to expand his shooting range and diversify his offensive threats. Obviously, embodying Jokic's impact will take time, especially considering the team's new dynamics. Obviously, embodying Jokic's impact will still take time, though there are flashes. Having that production is still very different than having a person that's actually looking like it. You can look like it, but if you're not producing the same, it doesn't matter. Now, considering this team's new dynamics, it'll help him a lot in growing towards that Jokic kind of foundation. But recent games like the one against the Nuggets is gonna continue to help Alfie build his confidence and continue to show that he belongs on this kind of stage. Now, I don't believe Alfie's gonna achieve immediate stardom, but with Jokic and his growing popularity, I think it does help Alfie's case in the future and growing that fan base, and his trajectory does hint at a promising future. The Rockets would be absolutely dumb if they didn't try to build around his strength, compensate for his weaknesses, and have complementary players that help his weaknesses, so that whatever weaknesses he does have, the same way Jokic does have weaknesses, we're not able to find ways to exploit them because they have people around him that you can't allow for that exploitation, because those guys around him, they complement those weaknesses. And if you could do that in the Rockets, that'll be everything for this team. A lot of people looked at Jalen Green as to be the guy that they would build around, but now that you look at Alfie and now that you see how he plays, I think you could very easily have Jalen Green as the next Jamal Murray kind of role, and him and Alfie playing that two-man, having that unstoppable pick and roll. It'll make the way of life for the Rockets in their future that much more easy going forward. While Alfie's not gonna achieve immediate stardom, should Alfie continue along this trajectory of success, the Rockets' investment in players supporting his style it would have substantial rewards. We've already seen it come to fruition with the Nuggets, and seeing what the end goal, seeing it actually come to fruition for another team, and knowing that you can emulate that almost directly, it makes this team, this outlook, and their future a lot more attractive going forward. But that's all I got for you guys in this video. Let me know some of the ways that you think Alperen Sengun compares to Nikola Jokic that I didn't mention in this video. Some things that may have been interesting facts that I may not even know, or have even seen some stats, something out there that you may have seen that points Alfie, in comparison to Jokic. I appreciate you guys watching the video, especially if you made it to this far. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like, comment. And here's your boy TB with the greatest hoop stories and baits on the tube, and I'm out. Peace.